If you're over 40 and it feels like your body is fighting every attempt you make to lose fat, there's a good chance that you're not missing discipline. The people I work with are some of the most disciplined people I've ever met. They run companies, they manage teams, they perform at a high level in every other area of their life. The problem isn't effort, it's that nobody gave them the right cheat codes. Most people are trying to solve fat loss by forcing it harder. Less food, more cardio, more restriction, trying to willpower their way through. But the clients I see who get the best results rarely do any of those things. They use a different playbook entirely. And in this video, I'm going to share the 7 metabolism cheat codes I use with my busy clients over 40, the ones that actually move the needle, organized through a 5-pillar system. And these aren't random hacks, they're a coherent methodology for getting your body out of fat storage mode and into fat burning mode. Here's why this matters. Your body doesn't know that you're trying to lose weight. It simply responds to the signals it's receiving. And if you've spent years sending it signals of stress, scarcity, and unpredictability, which, let's be honest, most high achievers have, your body has adapted by holding on to energy, slowing your metabolism, and prioritizing survival over fat burning. The cheat codes I'm about to share work because they change those signals. They tell your body that it's safe to burn fat again. And I want to be clear, these are not the things you'll hear in every fitness video. My clients have tried those things, and that's usually why they come to me. These are subtle, counterintuitive shifts that actually create change when the obvious stuff stops working. So let's get started with cheat code number 1. If you're starting your day with toast, cereal, or just coffee, you're starting in fat storage mode. And here's why. When you wake up, your body has been fasting all night. Cortisol is naturally elevated. If the first signal you send is a surge of carbohydrates with minimal protein, you spike blood sugar, reinforce that cortisol pattern, and set yourself up for cravings later in the day. So the cheat code is getting at least 30 grams of protein within 60 minutes of waking. And this is actually one of the highest leverage changes I make with clients because it sets the hormonal tone for the entire day. When you front load protein, you stabilize blood sugar, you reduce afternoon cravings, and this is a part most people don't realize, you're sending a signal to your body that resources are available, that it doesn't need to conserve, and that it can burn. Now, I'm not saying that you need a massive breakfast. Many of my clients aren't hungry first thing in the morning, so a protein shake works. Greek yogurt with a scoop of protein powder is great. 3 eggs. The format matters less than the signal. The second cheat code is something simple that most people dismiss, and it's walking for 10 minutes after you eat. And this is a big one. A 10-minute walk after a meal can reduce the blood sugar spike from that meal by up to 30 to 40%. That matters because when blood sugar spikes, insulin spikes. And when insulin is elevated, fat burning shuts off. Your body is literally being told to store, not burn. And the timing matters. Walking within 30 minutes of finishing your meal is where you're going to get the best metabolic benefit. And I'm not talking about a power walk or getting your heart rate up. Just a gentle walk will work around the block, around the office, walk and take a call if you can. I always tell my clients this isn't about burning calories. A 10-minute walk burns maybe 40 calories. That's not the point. The point is what it does to your blood sugar and insulin response. Number 3, this one sounds boring, and it probably is, to be honest, but it works. So the third cheat code is eating the same few meals on repeat instead of trying to make every meal different. Here's the thing about busy high achievers. You make decisions all day, hundreds of them. By the time you get to dinner, your decision-making capacity is depleted. That's when you end up ordering takeout, eating whatever's convenient, or just snacking through the evening. Not because you're lacking the willpower, but because you've already used up your decision budget. When I work with clients, we identify 3 to 4 breakfasts, 3 to 4 lunches, and 4 to 5 dinners that hit their protein targets, include enough fiber, and actually taste good. Then we just rotate these, so we're not having to think about anything. This eliminates friction, so the gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it, because when the decision is already made, you just execute, and execution compounds. Cheat code number 4 is the one I see most people over 40 getting wrong, and it's training for muscle, not for calorie burn. When most people decide to lose fat, they immediately add more cardio, more running, more cycling, more time on the elliptical, and the frustrating part is they might even lose weight initially, but what they're often losing is muscle, and that's the exact opposite of what you want after 40. Think of muscle like a storage site for glucose. When you have more muscle, and when that muscle is being used regularly, your body has somewhere productive to put that energy. When you lose muscle, which naturally accelerates after 40 anyway, you lose that storage capacity. Your insulin sensitivity drops, your resting metabolism drops, and fat loss gets harder. And I'm not saying that cardio is bad. Walking is one of the best things you can do. But if your entire fat loss strategy revolves around burning calories through exercise, that is a mistake. The cheat code is 2 to 3 strength sessions a week, and they don't need to be long. 20 to 30 minutes is enough if you're training with intention. So we've covered protein timing, post-meal movement, decision elimination, and training for muscle. Those 4 cheat codes alone would transform most people's results. But the next 3 are where things get interesting because they address the signals most people are unknowingly sending their body that keep them stuck in fat storage mode. Cheat code number 5 is something I talk about with every single client, and it's probably the most counterintuitive one on the list. You have to fix the scarcity signal. Your body has a very old, very powerful survival mechanism. When it perceives scarcity, not enough food, too much stress, not enough recovery, it shifts into conservation mode. Cortisol stays elevated, metabolism slows down, fat burning gets deprioritized because your body thinks it needs to store energy for an emergency. And here's where it gets frustrating. The very things people do to lose fat, like eating less, training more, pushing harder, are the exact signals that tell your body to hold on to fat. The cheat code is doing the opposite of what your diet brain is telling you to do. It's eating enough to signal abundance. It's prioritizing recovery so your nervous system comes out of fight or flight. It's understanding that sometimes the answer to better fat loss is not doing more, but doing less with more intention. I call this the shift from fat storage mode to fat burning mode. And for most of my clients over 40, this is the single biggest unlock. Cheat code number 6, and this is one that people resist the most, is sleep. I can't tell you how many clients come to me doing everything right with their nutrition and training, but they're sleeping 5 to 6 hours a night, and they're frustrated that they're not seeing results. Here's what's happening. One night of poor sleep can reduce insulin sensitivity by up to 25%. That means the exact same meal you eat today is now being processed differently. More of it gets stored, less gets used for energy. Sleep deprivation also increases ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, and decreases leptin, which is your fullness hormone. So you're hungrier, you're less satisfied, and your body is worse at processing the food that you do eat. This cheat code is treating sleep like the foundation it is. Before supplements, before optimizing your workout, before any fancy biohacking, if you're not getting 7 to 8 hours consistently, start there. Everything else is going to work better when that sleep is in place. And the final cheat code, number 7, is the mindset shift that makes all the others stick. Stop starting over every Monday. One of the most destructive patterns I see with high achievers is the all or nothing cycle. You follow the plan perfectly for 2 weeks, and then life gets busy, you miss a workout, you have a bad meal, and suddenly it's just, well, I've blown it, and I'll just start on Monday. The pattern, restriction, slip, guilt, restart, is sending your body a chaotic signal. It never settles into a rhythm, and consistency, not perfection, is what creates metabolic change. The cheat code is the continuity principle. You didn't fall off the wagon does not exist. You just had a less optimal day. Tomorrow you continue. Same plan, no reset, no punishment. When my clients make this shift, their results accelerate. And it's not because they're being more perfect, but because they stop interrupting their own progress. So those are the 7 metabolism cheat codes I use with my busy clients over 40. And what I want you to notice is a common thread here. None of these requires more discipline. None of them requires more restriction. They work because they change the signals your body's receiving, telling it it's safe, nourished, and ready to burn fat. Now, if you want to dive further into this idea, I've put together a short training that walks through the exact 5-part system I use with my private clients, people in their 40s and 50s who were once athletes and are now leading companies, managing teams, and trying to get back in control of their body. In that, I break down why cutting calories, fasting, and doing more cardio is the worst way to lose weight after 40 and the proven system to take back control without having to track calories and without training more than 90 minutes a week. So click the link that I'll put on the screen to watch that short video and steal the exact framework. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe, like the video, and drop any questions into the comments, and I'll make sure they get answered.